Welcome to the Spirit-Centered Business Podcast, where we blend the spiritual with the practical for supernatural results. Now, here is your host, Bralynn Newby.
Hello there. Welcome back to Spirit-Centered Business. This is part 2 with Dean Hankey, and part 1 was absolutely off the charts amazing. Thank you so much, Dean. If you missed it, you want to go back and definitely get it. Go to spiritcenteredbusiness.com and click that podcast button. It will be over there in the episodes area. So the setup that you gave us was the 3-part process for getting anything you want on command and demand and whatever else. Yep. So you mentioned during the break here that there's a reason that we use things in 3 steps. And I actually talked to my clients about this and my world changers about this, because our brain has to have things to hang on to, right? So I'd like you to talk about that. And then, of course, we want that 3-step process. Sure. So again, for you peeps, Mr. Dean is new to you, but believe me, in a moment, within a minute after he opens his mouth, you will be friends. So I'm going to give you that stage.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, the brain is a funny thing. It's a very powerful tool, and what it's capable of is amazing. But to optimize the learning experience, you know, chunking things down into typically 3 steps or 3 pieces, or makes it just a little more, it's easier to recall. And again, here's the thing, is if you don't remember it, you don't apply it. If you don't apply it, you don't get results. If you don't get results, then other people aren't transformed either. Other people aren't transformed. What's the point? So you have to make it, put the cookies on the shelf right there where they can grab them, is what I'm saying. Very simple. So yeah, this is a super simple 3-step process for getting anything you want on command and demand. And this is not a foreign concept, but it is a strategic concept, and it has to be done in this precise and exacting order. It's called VIP. And means little more than the idea of first, foremost, and always. The V in the VIP stands for value. Add massive, ongoing, ongrowing, and incredible value. Listen, if all you do in your business and in your life, by the way, you may not use any of these principles of success to improve the quality of your relationships at home. It's forbidden.
Right, because you know, principles aren't across the board. It's so yeah, they're very siloed.
You can only use them in your business.
Right. All right, folks, we're messing with you.
That's right. So very simply, here, if all you do in your business and your life, all you do is seek first to add ongoing, ongrowing, incredible, massive value, will people be more or less likely to want to stay engaged to you, right? Yes. So it's the idea of more deposits than withdrawals. In every human interaction, one of 2 things is absolutely unequivocally true, and that is this. Either you make a deposit or you make a withdrawal. That's it. End of story. Sorry to demystify the truth about relationship success and business success. You either make a deposit or withdraw. Your job is to create more value or simply make more deposits than withdrawals. If you do that, make more deposits than withdrawals, then your bank account, your emotional, spiritual, relational, intellectual, and financial bank account will be overflowing. If, on the other hand, you make more deposits than withdrawals, then what happens? Well, in a bank scenario, they will close your account. They will charge you fees and penalties and levies for, there's pain associated with it, right? So our job is simply to put more deposits and withdrawals. Very simple, very easy, very simple to understand. So add value first, foremost, and always. The I in the VIP is that value must do something very specific. It must generate a very specific, measurable impact for others. So add value that generates impact. Listen, if it doesn't generate impact, then it's not real value. It may be nice, it may be sweet, but if it doesn't generate impact, it's not real value. And likely you want to look at the way you're delivering value, in that it might be something more of a withdrawal nature than a deposit. So, and what's of value and what's of value to them are sometimes two different conversations.
That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right.
Yep.
And you know what, when you just said that, I just had a thought, because sometimes people think they're adding value, but they're adding it in such a way that it makes the other person feel, I'm not good enough. And oh my gosh, I have to add that to my plate. And it's overwhelmed, and it's not really adding value that means something to them or that creates that impact.
Yep. And it is positive, favorable impact, of course, right?
Right.
And I'll give you an example of what that looks like. So it's value, impact, and profit. Again, emotional, spiritual, relational, intellectual, and of course, as business owners, financial. Listen, if I want your money, I'll tell you, right? I am not shy, because I know that, like Dolly Levi says, money is just a tool. It is like manure spread around, encouraging things to grow. That's its purpose. It is just a weapon of mass instruction and value, right? So add value that generates impact, positive, favorable results or outcomes for others. And then you profit, emotional, spiritual, relational, intellectual. Some things we do just because it's the right thing to do, makes us feel good. Sometimes it's the right thing to do. It helps other people get, like, change their tire, or, you know, help them pay a bill, or just celebrate them and just love on them for a moment, or just recognize and acknowledge them. Walking down the street, somebody asks for your help. You know, one of the best gifts you can give is just the gift of acknowledgement. Straight in the eyes, and saying, you are a child of God. You are loved more than you can imagine, regardless of your situation or circumstance. And this, you can say this in your head. You don't have to say this out loud. You're welcome to, though. And, you know, but what can you do in that moment? You know, hey, listen, you can offer to pray. You can say, here's some lunch money, or let's go grab a bite to eat, or whatever's going on. You can serve. We have a thing we call the love bag, which is a 1-gallon plastic bag, and it has pop top food, a bottle of water, a bunch of stuff. And you know, because sometimes, honestly, I got to be honest, I fail. Like, the spirit is willing but the flesh is weak, right? So sometimes I think, well, what if they don't use that for anything but the most positive of purposes? I'll feel bad about that, instead of sometimes just saying, you know what, when I'm prompted and led, hey, I'll throw my wallet at you, I don't care. But sometimes it's just like, hey, here's something for now. Recognize, acknowledge, celebrate that you are worthwhile of our attention and effort. And then, you know, hey, here you go. Have a great day. God loves you, wants you to pay your bills. Right? Whatever it is, right? And sorry, just went Mormon on you. Sorry. Anyway, so I don't know if you're gonna have to edit some stuff out now. So
no, we don't edit here.
No, we don't edit. We don't. No, we don't edit. So that's good. So anyway, and P is profit. And again, and here's the thing is, you only get rewarded for helping other people get the results they need. So I sleep really well at night, knowing that my entire business is built on this VIP model: add value that generates impact, that produces profit for others and for everybody, right? So, but I only make money when I help other people make money. I only get results when I help people generate results. I only profit when everybody else wins as well, and usually before. So remember, I told you in last episode where we talked about raising money for schools and groups and nonprofits, and the whole pay it forward and profit model ideal.
Yes.
Is that all we do is we go to a nonprofit and say, how can we help you? Who can we help? How can we help? Right? And they say, wow, we could sure use a forklift for our warehouse at the food bank here. Oh, great. No problem. I go find somebody who has a forklift and see if they're willing to donate, or if we can raise some money to raise for that forklift, or whatever. We make the magic, help make the magic happen if we can. And then we generate additional funds and resources for an awareness for that food bank, or for that cause group, or that health organization, or that Boys and Girls Club, or early childhood education, or whatever it happens to be, by leveraging this VIP model. Do I add value? Once again, never leave the sight of a human interaction without creating value. That's it. End of story. If all you did was never leave the site. Now, will you do that perfectly every time? No, because none of us teach the walking on water class at the YMCA, right?
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah. You do the best you can with the resources you have. And sometimes the resources we have are just what we have. So let me help you if I can with what I can. If I can't help you, maybe one part of my relationships with other people can help you, right? I don't have a forklift in my back pocket, but I'll bet you I can find somebody who does.
Yeah.
Easy peasy, as an example. So never leave the site of a human interaction without creating value. That's all you do, and that's all you get away from any of these 2 episodes, that if you walk away with never leave the site of a human interaction without creating value, and you apply that on a regular basis, not every time, not all the time, but as much of the time as you can, your life and your business, you'll be selfishly happier. Because what happens when you do good things? You kind of feel good. So giving is kind of a selfish thing in many ways, right? I feel good when I serve others, when I am of value, when I help people get what they need.
Yeah. It's better to give than to receive.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. But there's a giving part to it, right?
Yes.
So absolutely. So yeah. So, and it's okay that you can feel good when I feed at the mission, when I serve in the community, when I speak and raise funds and awareness for groups, and I feel good, but I also get wildly rewarded for the results I help generate for the people that I serve.
Right. And then you get to feel good receiving.
I get to feel good receiving, knowing that I didn't say pay us a $5,000 minimum, a $25,000 stipend. I didn't say any of that stuff. Say free and easy, no risk money. Are you interested? Right?
Yes.
And,
I'm interested.
Of course, absolutely. And listen, as a speaker, as a trainer, as a coach, as a mentor, as an infopreneur, as a goddess of good, as all the things that you are, that you get to make massive money by helping other people get the results. Now, here's the interesting thing. Sometimes when we go work with our champion cause groups, we have charitable groups and when we champion groups, and our champions are local business leaders who partner together with us to make great things happen for that cause group or organization, right? Sometimes you'd think if I were to go to a local mom and pop business saying, I need more business, I need more sales, I need more money. I tell you, once we reveal to them what we're doing and why we're doing it, 99 times out of 100, they say, how can I help? Instead of, what's it going to cost me? And when I say, well, what do you need? And they say, well, yeah, I know we could use more business and sales because we want to keep our doors open. We want to pay our employees. We want to do all that good stuff. But you know what? If we can make this, we're so busy running our business, we don't have time to be the philanthropic force in the community that we'd love to be. That sense of contribution, that's God's spirit, that sense of awe and contribution and giving, that like God so loved the world that he gave, that we want to give to. And that most people, when given the opportunity, will do good and do the right thing, just given the opportunity. Now, if I went to them and saying, I'm looking to do a fundraiser, but I don't want them to pay for it. I want you to pay for it. It's less likely. Instead, go to them and saying, hey, what do you need? How can I help? Who can I help? How can I help? How can I add value that generates impact for you? And let's partner together. Let's make great things happen. What if I could do this, instead of saying, just give me $1,000 for nothing, maybe an ad in a program or something like that. What if I could give you this? What if I could expose you here? What if I could help you get this? What if I could bring you into a place that's federally protected? What if I could do this? What if I could get your message out to 70,000 people? What if I could do this and all that stuff? And they go, okay.
Right. So let's get a practical here, Dean, because it sounds like you have some very specific skill sets and connection, and you're a connector and a weaver of relationships. And when we go to someone who we want to help and we say, what do you need? They might say something that we have totally no idea how to get for them.
Sure.
Does that ever happen to you? And what happened?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, early on, I'll give you a really simple example, which will resonate well. Of course, I went in thinking I know what they want. They want some money, or they want to do this, that, and the other thing. I totally blew it, you know. And they go, keep in mind, this is an elementary school.
Okay.
So I say, well, how can I help you? You know, you probably have a secret principals fund that helps offset some of the costs that don't get funded in other places, or you need some, you know, some computers for the school lab, or you need some books for the thing, or you need, and I started listing, and they go, yeah, I guess we do need those things, but you know what we really need? We really need a bike rack for our kids.
Oh.
A bike rack. I'm going like, huh? Reggie? I don't know where to get a bike rack. And I said, you know what? Let's make that. Of course, because, you know, as a performer, I learned to master the yes, right?
I'm mastering the yes.
I am one with the yes. And so I just went, I looked around, I asked around, where to go? This was before the Google. And so I just found out, and I said, hey, listen, this school, it was a bike company. And I said, this school needs a bike rack so their kids' bikes can be secured to something, so they don't end up gone by the end of the day, and they don't have to, they can focus on their education. I said, what if we were partnered together? I'll do this, we'll do this. And oh, guess what? Let's give away a bicycle to some lucky kid as well. And let's do this. And that was a great practical partnership. The school got money from ticket sales of doing these magic shows that we used to do for the schools, because we do a ticket event. I do my assembly during the day, then we do a family fun night in 2 nights. Like I go on a Monday and do a inspirational, educational, fun assembly program. Then we do our family fun night magic show on a Wednesday night, and they would spend, you know, less than the price of a first run movie. So like $5. If we had 1,000 people in that little gym or multi-purpose room or auditorium, there's $5,000. Now, what if all I did was split it 50-50? They got $2,500. I got $2,500. They got their bike rack, and we got to give away on behalf of this bicycle organization or bicycle business. We were able to give away a brand new child's bike, and we were able to promote. And he came up on stage. I'm so honored to be here, and I'm so glad that, you know, we were able to participate and make a difference in the community. And then of course, then I could say, hey, if you guys need anything bike, just make sure you support these people, support the people that support the community. They were here. They made sure that the bike rack was there, and we made a little plaque that says "Save to them." You know, all of that stuff. We just, and they were like happy as punch to play along, because they got what they wanted. They got exposure to a federal, by the way, I don't know if you know, the schools are a federally protected audience. You can't buy your way through the front door of a school. But I can, as a performer, or presenter, I can walk you right and get paid to walk you right through the front door.
Wow.
So I had something they wanted, which is access to these school families, which were target eyeballs in their neighborhood, not just within the region, but right there at their back and front door. So I had 1,000 people who had an experience, a positive experience, CEO, of this business, instead of just saying, oh, that was nice.
Yes, brilliant.
Visceral magic show, and we magically made the bike appear, and we did this and we did that, and we floated a kid from the audience, and we did all that stuff. So, you know, it was a win. Did I say win? I meant win for everybody. And that's the way we do it.
Really cool. Yeah. So, okay. So a lot of the people watching or listening are not magicians. They're not, you know, they want to stay in their lane of their business. How can they tweak this principle to whatever business they're in so that it works for them?
Sure. First of all, find out what value it is that you bring and merchandise the value of your product, process, service, or solution. So stop selling your name as a headline, as a deadline, all of that stuff. If it doesn't create value, stop doing it, right? As far as marketing is concerned. So you want to, a credit card company, right? Their profit is built in basis points. They make a percentage of every sale for processing that credit card payment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one of our pay it forward and profit companies does exactly this. They take a percentage of those basis points. They save people money on their credit card processing already, which I haven't found anybody who does a better job. But again, it's not a pitch for them, but you understand what the process is. They take a percentage of those bases. Now, if we were able to save you, let's say you're paying $10, you're saying $1 on every $10 you process, just for the sake of conversation, because I'm simple-minded math-wise, right? So, and if I saved you that $1 in processing fees, how much of that would you be willing to redirect towards a charitable cause in our community? Let's say send a penny. Let's say 50 cents. Let's say 75 cents. Now you're still saving 25 cents on your credit card processing, but now you're delivering 75 cents on every one of those $10 sales to a charitable cause group of your choosing, right? Now they have set it up where it's a pool of groups and organizations that they've ferreted out, and they've made sure that they meet some criterion and that the money goes directly to where it's supposed to go and all that stuff. So you don't have to guess. And it does that auto magically. So you don't even see that 75 cents at the end of the day that goes directly into a fund that at certain points of distribution gets distributed to those different cause groups. And of course we celebrate them and say, look, this mom and pop business just donated $3,000 to this cruise. And it didn't hurt them at all. As a matter of fact, they potentially saved 25% on their credit card processing while giving 75% of that 100% savings, saving 25%, giving 75 away. They gave it away. So I don't care what business you're in, you can find a place, whether it's time, talent, treasure, or trust, your relationships, your connections, those resources, right? Mm-hmm. So your T4 connections, there's some place, some way you can give. You can empower your employees to give some of their time. Hey, for every $1 of overtime, we will match you for time out serving out in the community. It does not matter. You just have to be others oriented in your mindset. Figure out how can what we do creates value for people who pay us and the people who maybe can't or won't or don't. Mm-hmm. And it might be donating your service. Right. And it might be just generating a few additional profit dollars so that you can then in turn redirect it towards charitable cause groups. Or you can work with a local performer or coach or a mentor in your area and saying, hey, what if we partner together and let's together serve autism, or let's together serve the Boys and Girls Club, or let's together serve these groups. And you partner together and say, I've got a resource that I'm willing to designate a percentage of my results. I'm willing to, make the percentage of my results. Now together, you guys can make magic happen in the community, as an example.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's really, really good. I'm looking at the time here. We're doing okay. So one last idea I would like you to flesh out about Christ modeled relationships, not labels.
Yeah, absolutely. See, obviously, again, I hate coming against, it's the most obvious, but it really speaks. For God so loved the world. That means you, me, everybody, not just people who follow him, not just people who, it's God loved the world, right?
Yes.
Then what was his response in that love? Is that he gave. So he gave, right? Mm-hmm. So listen, there's the idea that there's a biblical in Nehemiah and other places throughout the Bible that refer to kings and priests. The idea that we are called to, different people are called to different things. Now, happens that I'm a licensed ordained minister and a pastor at a local church here as well. It's a ecumenical, no, it's not ecumenical. It's a volunteer position. So there's no financial rewards for being there. And that's not the point, but I don't make my income from there. So, but I serve at that level, but that I'm able to serve more profoundly because of my kingdom calling, not my.
Right. So you're a priestly king or a kingly priest.
That's right. Exactly.
Yes.
So I'm called. So when we first started that I don't integrate faith into my business. I integrate business into my faith. Listen, if you were to invite Jesus over, what rooms in the house would you let him in? Would you allow him to sit on the furniture in the front room, in the living room, right? Would you allow him into the bedroom where maybe it's, a pile of clothes in the corner? And would you allow him to use the restroom? And, and forgive me, but this is what happens to us in our business. We select where we allow our faith walk to impact our life. So the idea is, hey, God made it all. He gets it all. We are just managers. We're just managers. The fancy old English word is stewards. We're the steward, but we just manage, and anything else is theft. So we just manage this resource, the time, the talent, the treasure, the trust, it's all his. So our job is to invite him in, not only to our front room, not only to our kitchen, not only to our bathroom, not only to our bedroom, but into the garage and the basement where we store all our junk, and the closet where all our skeletons are, and all of that stuff. So he has sovereignty over all of it. And if you fail, then you start making this dividing wall between your spiritual life and your other life, your worldly life. Like,
right.
A car dealership, and hey, he's not welcome over here in my sales job. He's welcome here, 10 minutes before bedtime and right before eating, and, but over here,
Yes, that's so true. And that's one of the reasons why I actually started Spirit-Centered Business in 2014 was that compartmentalization of our lives. When we're designed, we are spirit, and we're designed to live in wholeness. And our body is not a bad thing. It's part of us. And it's actually the temple, we're told. Right. So when we compartmentalize our lives like that, I love the way you put it. He's only allowed an hour on Sunday, 2 minutes before meals, 10 minutes before bed, and the rest of the time we're totally ignoring him and ignoring the promptings, ignoring the resources that he could provide, the strategy, the wisdom, and everything that he could provide, the healing. When we surrender our offenses and our other stuff to him, it goes better for us in our lives and in our business.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We are designed by him, and we are optimized by him. So if we fail to leverage the optimization that he provides, that's just bad on us, frankly.
I love that. We're optimized by him.
So, and so what they say, sin is simply nothing more than separation from God, right? So it's
apparent separation, because he never really leaves us.
No, he doesn't leave us.
Yeah.
But, sometimes we look the other way.
We choose to not. Yes, exactly. La la la, I'm invisible.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yep, absolutely. So I think he belongs everywhere. And again, that doesn't mean that you have to go out and preach the Bible from a platform as a speaker. No. I do. I mean, you've heard me speak, you hear me go all Southern Baptist up in this house, and, I get, cause I get passionate and charismatic. So sometimes I say, as it says in the Bible, we are called to this level of thing. And I don't do it from a religious standpoint. It's from a strictly relational perspective.
Yeah.
And I just say, listen, if you want the best, you don't want the secret to my success, has nothing to do with the marketing. Has everything to do with magic, man and God in communion.
Oh, I love that. Man and God in communion.
Yep. Or connection, or because connection is communion potentially.
Yeah.
And it is our job, and we're called to live. If we're brokenhearted about the things that he is brokenhearted about, we are called to love and hope. That's it. If you want a life of victorious expression, all you have to do is help other people every day. Love and hope. Life of victorious expression by helping other people every day. That's why I say never leave the site of a human interaction without creating value. And I love that halo that appears every once in a while for you.
You love that, huh?
Your ring light, yeah.
Isn't that awesome how it just like fades away, but then when
No, it's a halo.
It's a halo. Yeah. Oh my gosh, sorry.
You notice when it appears when you're not paying attention.
Ooh, that means something, huh?
It's interesting.
I am taking furious notes over here. So when I hear something that really perks me up in spirit, that's when I take the note, and that's when it appears. So
exactly right.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I know that you have some amazing gold nuggets to share with the Academy, which we didn't talk about in part 1. So I would like you to just kind of set them up, intro what you're going to be teaching over there for our Academy peeps.
Sure. So 2 things I want to share, actually, at least, and there may be time for more.
Okay.
It pays to be an Academy member. And I'm going to give you something that I have not given to anybody but my platinum level members. So this is a great gift. And this is again, another 3-step process, super simple 3-step process to connect, communicate, and convert like crazy.
Ooh, that's
super simple
really good.
3-step process. I call it the magic of you. And it is so natural. It is so where you are. 3-step process to connect, communicate, and convert like crazy. The magic.
Connect, communicate, and convert like crazy.
That's right.
Easier said than written out here. All right, perfect. Well, I need to know what I'm talking about, right?
No worries.
It sometimes happens.
And we'll share a super simple strategy that will allow them to leverage their best and highest good simply by asking better questions of themselves and others. So question your way to success.
That is really good. And it's funny that you bring that up, because that is one of the foundational pieces to hearing correctly in the spirit. When we're listening to God, you have to ask, did I hear that correctly? Did you just say, okay, and then he says something, and then you say, and you ask him questions about it until the revelation comes all the way through. So it is brilliant that asking questions is part of your strategy as well.
Yes.
Love that.
I mean, even the simple questions, like the difference between the question is, what does that mean, versus what would you, God, what would you have me learn? Different question, different answer. If I were to say, what does that mean? I could rely on my own understanding. And he tells us very specifically, in no unequivocal terms, says, lean not on your own understanding, right?
That's true, because there are so many layers of detail and information, and the way that you can take things. Even as we're reading scripture, it can come to us in different ways, and it'll hit us a little sideways from the last time we read it, and like, oh, I never thought about it like that, right? So what would you have us learn? That's a great question. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much, Dean. Amazing stuff. And yes, you're absolutely right that we need to create more partnerships. We need to create more relationships to create more win-wins in our business, and think outside the box. And I know that's an overused term, but it really is a like off the grid kind of just a way to do life from a giving standpoint and adding value that really makes impact. So thank you so much for those tips, tricks, strategies, testimonies, stories, and everything else that you've provided. All right, so for the Academy peeps, we will see you on the inside. And if you're not an Academy peep, you can go to spiritcenteredbusiness.com and click the Academy button to join. And over there, you will get all of the gold nugget trainings from my guests that I have on the podcast. And you know that they are phenomenal. Plus, we meet once a month to discuss everything that you've learned in there to make sure that you are actually getting traction and getting some implementation. Because I think, as Dean also said, that if you don't actually implement what you're learning, you're not going to get the results, right? So that is what the Academy is all about. Thank you again, Dean. And until next time, all of the rest of you, stay spirit-centered. Peace out.
Spirit-centered business, spiritual principles, and business principles combined. If you're ready to align your destiny and discover the destiny of your business, join us. We are entrepreneurs, leaders, and business professionals who take the power of the spirit realm in our business seriously. We go beyond just consuming information. We participate, activate, and engage the supernatural with unbelievable results. If you want to gather with like-minded business professionals to activate spiritual principles and mastermind creative solutions to business challenges, Spirit-Centered Business is your tribe. Go to spiritcenteredbusiness.com to become a member today. Thank you for listening to Spirit-Centered Business with Bralynn Newby. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. The next stage of doing business by being spirit-centered is coming together in collaboration, working with spiritual principles and knowing our destiny. Join our tribe at spiritcenteredbusiness.com, and we'll catch you on the next broadcast. Peace out.